Nobody expected such a massive revelation to hit on a quiet Monday evening, but these Katt Williams claims regarding Ellen might be the most shocking yet.
There are spiritual things going on in the world, and that there are things that are bigger than just coincidence, and that a ritual is something that you do over and over and over again a certain way.
There was always a specific inquiry Hollywood insiders avoided. How did a person who preached global compassion become known backstage as icy, demanding, and even frightening to work for? That mystery persisted whenever Ellen DeGeneres was mentioned. On screen she was joyful, dancing, and beaming. But off-camera the accounts didn't align. For nearly 2 decades she dominated daytime television. The Ellen DeGeneres Show grew into a cultural titan. Stars queued up to visit. Millions tuned in daily, and her slogan was clear: be kind to one another. But when the program abruptly concluded, the rumors intensified. Observers began questioning the reality behind the curtain. And that is where this links to the warnings comedian Katt Williams has voiced for years.
Do you feel like in Hollywood that there are, I've heard you kind of allude to the fact that there's like kind of darker forces that kind of like, that present opportunities to people in trade-off, right? In trade for their own, maybe their own peace, maybe their own reality, maybe a sacrifice of the actual direction that they want. Do you think that really happens, that kind of stuff?
I think everything is controlled and regulated.
You think there's ever ways where we can get to the control room and see who's controlling, or you think that's all?
We're past that. But we don't protect the whistleblower, right? We don't honor the scout that would tell us who it is. Matter of fact, when they get him, we're gonna go, I could have told you that was gonna happen. They're telling too much truth.
Do you think Hollywood has a lot of things that they like hold against people, Like I had a theory that
a lot of this is human nature.
Right, so it's not even Hollywood, it's just human nature.
It starts as human nature.
Katt never played by the rules. While others kept quiet to safeguard their status, he spoke candidly. He claimed Hollywood isn't what it appears to be. In his view, it is profoundly dark and corrupt once the filming stops.
At least if you're in the ATL and a nigga doing drugs in the ATL, the nigga at least excuse himself, go to the bathroom or some shit. Because in Hollywood, just do the drugs right in front of you and act like ain't shit happened. You in the middle of a goddamn meeting. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the movie with you, and then we're gonna go back.
Did you know that I can see you? Nigga, you right there. It's on your nose. Nigga, what?
Motherfuckers be gay in Hollywood, you never expect it. They be having these big ass mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. I ain't been famous that goddamn long. I'm excited in a motherfucker to be at the mansion party. You be looking at all the goddamn rooms, and you fuck around and look in the wrong room and shit. Come here. Is that 2 niggas kissing? Is one of them niggas Professor Opie? He came out the closet. Oh my God, a rover.
He argued the grins, the charity, and the flawless persona are all part of the performance. So when accounts of Ellen's environment surfaced, Many recalled Katt's words and began viewing the situation through a new lens. But Ellen wasn't always a star. Born January 26, 1958 in Louisiana, she lived a modest life before the spotlight, working various jobs while finding her path. In the early 80s, she began stand-up in tiny clubs, playing late sets for minimal crowds. Then in 1986, her destiny shifted. She appeared on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. Following her set, Carson signaled her to the sofa. In those days, that gesture meant you were a star.
This is a good night for a young comedian to appear because you're all in a great mood. This is her first appearance on network television, although she can be seen this month on HBO's Young Comedian Special. And she's working at the Improvisation in San Diego this weekend. She'll be at the San Francisco Punchline the 3rd through the 6th of December, and at the Dallas Improv December the 9th through the 6th to 14th. Would you welcome Ellen DeGeneres? Ellen?
Thank you. Hi. Good. You feeling good? Me too. Feel great. I've been keeping in shape lately, you know. You have to. I'm getting older. I'm 27. People say, you don't look 27. You look like you're about 23. I'm lucky because that runs in my family. My grandmother is 97. She looks about 93. Have a little nephew who's 4. Doesn't even look like he's born yet. Tiny embryo of a thing. That's great. That whole fitness thing runs in my family, though, I think. My grandmother started walking 5 miles a day when she was 60. She's 97 today, and we don't know where the hell she is. I'm kidding. We know where she is. She's in prison. But, I'm kidding again. You know, I kid a lot because I'm a comedian.
Her trajectory soared from there. In the 90s, she led her own sitcom, Ellen. Then, in 1997, she took a monumental chance. She came out as gay to the public. Back then, that was a massive gamble in the industry. Soon, her series was dropped and networks distanced themselves. For a moment, her career seemed finished, but she returned. In 2003, she debuted The Ellen DeGeneres Show. This time, she came back with a polished brand. Someone optimistic, gentle, and vibrant. Each broadcast ended with the same plea: be kind to one another. That phrase became her identity. The show was a phenomenon. She produced over 3,000 episodes, collected countless trophies, and became a TV powerhouse. But behind the scenes, a conflicting narrative was emerging. Former staff members began talking. They described a workplace defined by stress and anxiety. One early staffer claimed they were instructed never to speak to or look at Ellen. Employees felt as though they were constantly walking on eggshells.
If you didn't pitch in her wheelhouse, then she looked at you like you had just f***ing stabbed her puppy. And then there was this process of pushing people out of the circle. And you know, you want to be in the circle because there's a lot of fear going on. Yeah. And you're in or out. So there was a lot of like, it didn't really bother me that much because I'd written on a lot of shows before and I kind of knew what it was like to have tough bosses. Yeah. You know, I wrote for Bill Maher. Sure. And so like, I was just like, tough enough, but then there was these first-time writers they used to cry. There was a lot of crying in the hallways.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just feels like it's not a good energy for a workplace or a show. Like, I feel like you're getting less out of people by treating them like that.
I think so. Yeah, for sure. I think in the long run. I think in the short run you might get more, but in the long run people get exhausted. Yeah. You break them. They can't. And then you hit sweeps, which is like you're working 12, 14-hour days because it's like the ratings months, and then nobody can give anything, and you just hit walls.
This former waitress claims she was threatened with a 2-week suspension after Ellen DeGeneres complained about, of all things, her chipped fingernail polish.
I remember just being like, really?
Chris Ferris says it happened when Ellen and Portia de Rossi had Sunday brunch at the high-end vegan restaurant in West Hollywood where she was waiting tables. But a week later, Ferris says her boss got an email from the talk show queen.
They were like, we have to talk to you. She emailed the owner of the restaurant and complained about your chip nail polish.
What?
And I was like, what?
Ferris says in a bid to placate the high-profile celebrity, her boss hit her with a 2-week suspension at no pay. She got so upset, she quit.
they were going to suspend me if I hadn't quit for the 2 weeks.
What would you say to Ellen?
I would say, what is happening in your life that you aren't already busy with the bountiful grace that's happening to your wealth, your influence? Why do you have the time to mess with someone who was just serving you?
Do you look at Ellen differently now because of that incident?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, before this, I was a huge fan.
Like many waitresses in LA, Farrah is also an actress and does stand-up comedy.
I don't want to name any names.
The waitress's story is just the latest blow for Ellen, who faces accusations of turning a blind eye to a toxic work culture at her talk show, despite her public reputation for being kind to people.
Be kind to one another. I felt mostly just sad that Ellen is so rich and powerful and a female comedian would take her time to hurt someone who she probably guesses is somewhat of a starving artist. I have seen some of the celebrities who came out and been like, well, she was never rude to me. And I'll be like, yeah, you're a rich, powerful celebrity. Well, she wasn't rude to you, I get it. But you aren't someone who's working underneath her.
A producer alleged Ellen was aware of the mistreatment but remained silent. According to that report, a subordinate would play the bad guy, while she stood back and smirked. The television persona didn't match the lived experience of the crew. Then old segments began to age poorly. In one sit-down, she relentlessly pressured Taylor Swift to discuss her dating history, even as Taylor visibly resisted. It became an uncomfortable game. In another instance, Dakota Johnson called her out on live TV for claiming she wasn't invited to a party. That brief moment went viral. It looked like a fracture in Ellen's perfect facade. But the incident that truly lingered involved Mariah Carey. During an appearance, Ellen teased rumors of Mariah's pregnancy. She produced champagne and forced her to drink to disprove the gossip. Mariah looked distressed but eventually complied.
You and I both really know now that Miss Ellen, not as nice as she portrayed on TV. Now, the most awkward, uncomfortable, and borderline unethical interview that Ellen did has to be Mariah Carey. Make sure you watch my pop culture paint lesson about Dakota and Ellen to get all of the tea. Mariah Carey was on the Ellen DeGeneres Show in 2008, and Ellen obviously has to pry and bring up the pregnancy rumors that were circulating at the time. She didn't just do that, though. In order to pressure an answer out of her, she made her drink champagne live on TV.
People are saying that that you're pregnant. There's rumors. Don't discuss that. All right. Well, you don't have to. No, that's okay. No, honestly, you don't have to. Let's just toast with champagne and decide. But they've been saying that since we. I can't believe you did this to me, Ellen. What? No, I'm not going to ask you if you're pregnant or not. This is peer pressure. You see what Ellen is doing? This is peer pressure. No. Let's toast to you not being pregnant. If you're not pregnant, then we should. Oh my goodness. I can't believe her. Why would we toast to that? You're pregnant.
Mariah didn't want to release that she was pregnant yet because she has had a history of having miscarriages, and it was way too early on. Shortly after the interview, Mariah suffered a miscarriage. She talks all about this in some interviews from 2020 and her book that came out, but that's honestly a very evil thing for someone like Ellen to do with her platform. And Mariah continuously brings up that how uncomfortable that moment made her. Whether or not it was real champagne doesn't really matter. It's the fact that she was pressuring her into answering on live TV.
When people revisited that, the footage felt cruel rather than funny. Was the kindness brand just a mask? That doubt wouldn't fade. And as people connected this to Katt Williams' long-standing warnings, things took on a different tone. Katt has always cautioned that Hollywood is expert at crafting public illusions. In his routines and interviews, he explains it simply. Some people never show their true selves. Instead, they inhabit a role, a meticulously built character. According to him, some spend their entire lives portraying saints, not out of goodness, but out of fear of what happens if the truth is exposed. This is where the narrative shifts toward a darker place. Katt has alleged that many stars feel forced to suppress their true nature to belong. To remain relevant, they must obey certain codes, satisfy the elite, and never rebel. In his eyes, the industry rewards the compliant.
Do you think there's any artists now that you think are not the same artists that we thought they were?
If we're only speaking of biology, I've heard that a man's G-spot is in his anal passage, which means I'm gonna go my whole life without ever experiencing it.
Yeah.
By the same token, everybody is a reflection of what they gotta go through to get to where they at, right? And I just know that the people that have been in positions where they decided to do some stuff that they said they weren't gonna do, they don't be the same on the other side. Nothing they can do can make them seem like what you remember them as.
Have you ever...
I call it spiritual because I don't know what else to call it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Have you ever faced that in your own life where people try to come at you for offers like that? Do you think that like stars and get offered that kind of thing? Like to compromise themselves sexually for entertainment?
Again, the things that we are discussing exist in each of the fields.
Right, any field.
Right. Not entertainment exclusively. Politics, religion, science, everywhere, right? Some of this is human nature, right? Because we listen and we don't judge.
This is why when the Ellen DeGeneres reports broke, some weren't surprised. They viewed it as confirmation of Katt's perennial warnings. Because to the public, Hollywood appears radiant and flawless. You see the humor, the glamour, and the big stage moments, but behind the curtain, some say it is a completely different reality.
Man, so how do you know who is... That's part of the game, huh? You don't know.
It's part of the game.
Yeah, it kind of makes it exciting too when you think about it.
It can be exciting and depressing. This thing does not happen in yearly cycles. Like, it's not a every 12 months thing. It's not how it works. So the age of truth is not 1 year. It's the beginning of people having more of a thirst for what is true than an appetite for lies. So if you sell lies, it's a harder road for you. If you have truths to tell, people are hungry for that, and they'll pay you handsomely to hear the truth. Wasn't always that way. It's that way right now in real time. Whatever that means to you, that's the battle that's going on, is people who profit from the manipulation of others by getting you to believe something that's not the case. And that's how they make their living. And it is now a difficult time for those entities.
Do you think that there is actual cloning going on?
We know that there's actual cloning going on. The question I believe you're asking is human cloning.
Oh, yes, sir.
But let's start with the real question. The real question is cloning going on? Yeah, it is.
I knew it.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying, let's just say animal cloning.
Oh,
right?
yes.
Let's start there. That's not a myth, or
no, that's been known.
That's not a conspiracy theory that we are at the point where we have no problem cloning animals.
The audience observes one version of the truth, clean, bright, and curated. But according to figures like Katt Williams, there is a hidden version, one that remains concealed behind the scenes. Do you believe we will ever truly see the full picture? Share your thoughts in the comments below.